What's up? What's up? Welcome to another market recap. Today is October 21st, 2025. So I had one trade last night on this Euro Swiss. The Kiwi pairs I was waiting, or Aussie pairs, CAD pairs. Yeah, CAD pairs I was waiting to trade last night. Kiwi CAD, Aussie CAD. They pulled back, but didn't quite really give entries, and then just continued breaking down. And then the ZAR trades pulled back. By the time they pulled back, though, the Swiss trades were starting to pull back at the same time. And the Swiss trades, for me, were kind of primary over those ZARs. This Euro Swiss being the main trade I was looking to take last night, and luckily it pulled back and gave an entry. So quick overview, daily time frame is sitting at this extreme kind of low support level, right? Prices hit it multiple times in the past, pushed off of it pretty hard each time. So there's potential for a quick day trade is how I took the trade, but I think you could still be in this trade holding for a push to the 4-hour 50, if not holding for a push to the daily 50, and potentially holding for an even larger push, past all the EMAs on a daily time frame and to kind of like a daily breakout and a new kind of bullish run on the daily. So in my mind, I'm going to take my kind of quick 2-to-1. If price would continue to, break the 1-hour 50, it'd be essentially turn into an IBO and it'd give me a second shot at another trade come today. Didn't quite get that break today, unfortunately. But we kind of do on some other Swiss pairs, which we'll get into in the watch list. But yeah, all things considered, just pretty good. I'm happy about the trade. Falling wedge pattern. We got the initial kind of bottom in the late into the session yesterday. At the time of the watch list, I was waiting for a double bottom to form, and then we got that double bottom. And granted, we kind of accelerated pretty hard into the double bottom, but I was okay taking this relatively aggressively on a 30-second time frame, just due to how strong this level has been in the past, essentially. So I was anticipating once price was to smack this level and we got some kind of micro time frame trend change, price would likely run to at least the 1-hour 50 area, if not the upper end of this kind of pattern. And I was able to position size to get a 1 to that area. So in my mind, if it's stalled at that area, then I'd hopefully be able to get out for a 1. If it broke on past that area, it would easily hit the 2. I didn't have my 2R target in place. Normally I run like a profit target, just a limit order in place, but I didn't have that just in case price kind of hit this and then reversed with a lot of momentum. I was willing to kind of ride that momentum up to the 4-hour 50, but we didn't really get that happening. So 30-second time frame entry, thought it was pretty clean. Price comes down, gives us a higher low. So first indication, breaks the EMA, breaks these previous highs. So a higher high, so higher low, higher high, confirmation of a trend change. So yeah, that's where I took it. I think I could have taken it a tad earlier on this kind of 30-second EMA break right here. But all things considered, I like my entry. And yeah, so price just kind of continued for a little while. When it broke the 10-minute 50 and closed above the 10-minute 50, I went ahead and moved my management to P1, which is to essentially clip the low on the 10-minute time frame, which was this low, which removed about half the risk from the position. And then when price ran into my 1-to-1 target, I went ahead and moved my stop to P2, which is essentially to break even on the trade. Normally P2 kind of clips a 10-minute low, but given the fact this price just kind of ran and hadn't given any sort of real 10-minute pullback yet, there wasn't really anything to clip. So I just moved it to break even. If this kind of low right here had formed and say price kind of hit the 1-to-1 and then came back, retested the 10-minute 50, and then got a follow through, I would have just clipped that low, for example. So for a little bit more than a break even. Yeah, so moved stop to P2, And then I was sitting here watching this, right? Like I'm trying to be a little loose with it. It's pushing into my 1-to-1 just a tad each time. I'm getting to like 1.1, 1.2 sometimes. So yeah, I'm sitting here waiting to see if price will just break this level and start to run. And that, level is roughly kind of like your 1 hour 50 area, this trend line, the daily pivot. So I'm waiting to see if price can break past. But after the fourth retest of that level and it starts to break down on a kind of a 5-second time frame, starts to break trend, I go ahead and just exit on that 5-second trend break for a 1-to-1 and pretty much lock in my 1. So if I wouldn't have exited here and continued to hold, I mean, price would have pushed a little higher, so I could have, claimed 1.1, 1.2, but likely if it pushed this high, I would have just locked my 1 and still would have been a 1. If I didn't do that, then I would have exited on a break of this 10-minute 50 for a fail safe. And then I'd be looking at like a 0.6 or so for the trade. So yeah, I think there's a potential obviously to catch a larger movement here, but you'd have had to be a lot looser in the management than I typically am. Either way, all in all, good trade. I like it. And money is money. For tonight, I have a number of different groups. I have a CAD group, I have a Kiwi group, I have a Swiss group, and I have kind of these 2 dollar pairs. There could almost be a yen group in here too, and we'll get into it here in a second. For the CAD group, all of these are similar, right? Like there's a lot of CAD strength that came into the market during New York. I think some news came out. They're all kind of, having these bullish CAD pushes. And I'd prefer dollar CAD the most if it wasn't sitting at this kind of horizontal level, right? Like if it had a little bit deeper of a break and it kind of broke this previous low right here, I would be all about dollar CAD. I think it looks pretty good. But unfortunately it didn't. So it looks kind of weird, right? I still think this has potential to go short to the downside, but you're sitting at your 4 hour 50. You're sitting at this kind of horizontal support that's, support, resistance, support, as well as its resistance over here. I think we can zoom out, right there on the 4 hour time frame. It's a little weird. Pound CAD, also Pound CAD, EURCHF, very similar. They're also a little weird. I think Pound CAD's a little nicer than EURCHF just from the fact of EURCHF sitting at the 4 hour 50. 4 hour 200. Pound CAD's not. But essentially like wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 is how I'm looking at this. But you could almost argue this is ACB price action too. Like an ABC complex pullback price action. And this is now going to be a long. So I don't know. I'll watch it, see how it kind of reacts to these EMAs in this level. I think it has still the potential to go short, but needs a little bit more development for me. And then CAD yen, similar. Kind of wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, playing a wave 5 CBO. Similar on your 4 hour time frame. Daily is kind of nice, right? You have this, on all your yens are like this. They have these like low tests and then these strong kind of bullish candles, rejecting a kind of a recent daily level or the EMAs. So they're fascinating. So I think it has the potential for kind of a daily bullish move. CAD PLN, I think it just has kind of the cleanest price action. It's a 1 hour CBO, 4 hour IBO. When it pulls back, it'll be a 10-minute ACB. So it has the cleanest kind of 3-level strategy alignment that I like to see. Daily time frame has plenty of room to move to the daily 50, as well as it gets due for kind of a daily reversal, potentially even higher. You could, as well as the previous kind of high here, if you draw in a line, lines up decently well with our EMAs and fib levels, right? So kind of wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, playing like a wave 5 CBO. So most of these CAD movements are playing a wave 5. That's how I'm looking at them. Even this dollar CAD, you look at the 10-minute time frame, kind of wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. This is shaping up. It needs a deeper pullback. It needs a essentially a 10-minute 200 for me to entertain it, but that would be like a wave 4 pullback and then playing a wave 5 followed through. Same thing here for EURCHF, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So I think there's a lot of potential options. I just think CAD PLN is probably the cleanest, but I don't know if spread's really going to allow me to trade this. So we'll see. The Kiwi group, and probably one of my favorite pairs tonight is this pound Kiwi. All in all, pretty clean. I'm sitting at this daily resistance level. It's been respected here in the past, right? Looks okay. So at least has some resistance that it's bouncing off of right here on the daily time frame. You have a good, breakdown, pullback, retest of this trend here, as well as kind of these previous highs. You draw on a line like right there and see what I'm talking about. But nice pullbacks. So wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, playing like a wave 5 CBO. It's a 4-hour IBO at this point, and then with a pullback, it'll be a 10-minute ACB. So, and you have plenty of room to move on the 4-hour time frame as well as the daily. So all, I think it's good. I think it's pretty good. Euro Kiwi, very similar to pound Kiwi. I just think pound Kiwi has a little nicer of price action here. The levels line up a little bit better. But this is still very much an option. Same kind of concept as pound Kiwi. And then Kiwi Yen, similar concept to CAD Yen, right? I think CAD Yen's probably a little nicer than this Kiwi Yen. The same kind of thing. And then Kiwi Swiss. This is also a pair I like a good bit for tonight. The only downside to it is that it's sitting at the 1-hour 200 and 4-hour 50. If you got rid of that EMA, I really like the price action on this, right? Like you have a low test, and then you've got starting to get some kind of, bullish candlesticks here. You have this wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, if you want to read it that way, right? So, but you have a full-on trend change at this point. Lower high, higher high. It's just this EMA is the little odd thing about it. Price action on your 10-minute time frame is pretty clean, right? No real chop to this. So it essentially had like a CBO right here, which is lining up to be an ACB if it pulls back. So yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of a 1-hour IBO. It's just bouncing off that 4-hour 50 first. You also have decent horizontal support off these kind of previous 1-hour, 10-minute highs right here. So yeah, I think it's pretty clean. It's just that one EMA that sketches me out a little bit. So, but if this pulls back and decelerates nicely here, I'd entertain taking it long. Pound Swiss, similar concept, right? Like all the Swisses are starting to break out, hence the Swiss trade we took last night. From not having anything kind of in the way, pound Swiss is the only one. You just have some kind of choppy price action here on your 10-minute that I don't love. But the EMAs line up well with the pivots and the fib. You still kind of have the higher low double bottom on your 1-hour time frame. So you could definitely see this being an IBO and then breaking out to a CBO. I almost rather take it if it breaks out as a CBO and then gives me a CBO on my 1-hour, 4-hour IBO, and then a 10-minute ACB. I think that could be pretty clean if we get that push kind of today and then have that's a possibility for tomorrow. But there's also still the possibility of an IBO on this today. And then dollar Swiss, similar to these other Swiss pairs. It's just not as clean price action. Daily time frame's okay, right? Most of these Swiss pairs have some pretty clean dailies. It's just sitting at an EMA, so it's not the best, but I flagged it just to watch it. Another kind of primary pair I have is this dollar Singapore. It's a really random dollar pair, but I like the price action. You have this kind of triple, if not double bottom, however you want to look at it, on the 1-hour time frame. Breaking with a clear kind of strong break upwards and clean trend here on the 10-minute time frame. Coming back for kind of a retest. So I'm looking at this as wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, playing a wave 3 CBO. It's a 4-hour kind of ATC, a trend continuation play. You have room to move to your daily 200 EMA, as well as which lines up somewhat with these previous highs. So enough room for us to hit our 2-hour target. And it'll be a 10-minute ACB when it pulls back. Pretty decent one, I think. So, yeah, I like it. I like it. It's a little odd, but the 1-hour price action looks okay. 10-minute price action I like. Looks pretty clean. 4 hours, I mean, there it has a trend change on your 1-hour and your 4-hour time frame. It's just the daily's a little odd, right? But I mean, you could say wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and this is going to a wave 5 on your daily. But either way, I could see a move up to the daily R1 level and 200 EMA. So, and then dollar yen. Similar concept to these other yen pairs, right? It's just going to be, I think for these yens, which one looks the nicest when they pull back? So we'll see. It's a kind of a 4-hour ACB. Now, it was a 4-hour ACB. Now it's turning into a trend continuation play similar to dollar Singapore. Kind of a 1-hour CBO. But yeah, all the yens have these pretty nice kind of daily candlesticks. Super large low tests, nice bullish engulfing candles. So they're interesting. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. It's going to be a rather kind of busy night if some of the stuff starts to pull back. Still got to do a little bit of filtering, but for the moment, I think these are the main primaries I'm looking for: CAD PLN, pound Kiwi, Kiwi Swiss, dollar Singapore. I think if I had to kind of put them in order, it's pound Kiwi. I really don't like that EMA, but I love everything else about this trade. So it almost, I think Kiwi Swiss, dollar Singapore is similar for me. But I'd have to go dollar Singapore over dollar or Kiwi Swiss just because there's nothing in the way of my target. There's no EMA in the way. But Kiwi Swiss pretty similar. And then CAD PLN, it's nice. So are these other CAD trades. It's just don't know if the spreads are going to chill out enough to be able to take it. So either way, that's all I got. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you.